Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Wildemount Faith and Fury. We have this incredible cast joining us today to continue our adventures as we roam through the Marrow Valley of Wildemount. Joining us are players. Just Alika.
Hello, it's me. I'm Malika. I will be playing Leo, the Hobgoblin Paladin, who's definitely not named to annoy anyone.
Yes.
That's it.
Speaking of Leos,
Hello,
Shubham,
everybody. My name
go
is.
ahead, tell us.
Tell you about my Leonin, paladin of Oath of the Crown. Yeah, I'll tell you about him. He is totally not concerned that everyone keeps confusing him with the Hobgoblin. Hello, my name is Shubham, and that's who I'll be playing. I think that's everything you need to know for now. I'm excited to jump back into this game.
Oh, there's definitely secrets to be unraveled here. And speaking of secrets, Chirag.
Hi, I'm Chirag. I'll be playing Ishkar. He's not a Leonin. His name's not Leo, and his star sign is not Leo. He's just an ordinary blade singing wizard who's definitely got no secrets. And he's just looking out, for the good of the Dominion. Right? Yeah, definitely a guy you can trust. Back to you.
Sure, yeah. And last but not least, we have Indrani.
Hello, everybody. My name is Indrani. My pronouns are she, they. I will be playing Valara Stormborn, a monk of the Cobalt Soul. Like everybody here, pretty straightforward lady, just trying to help out, the little guys, make sure food gets across the border when some asshole in a crowd decides to be like, no food for you. So, just chilling. I have announcements. I will do the announcements and then I will throw it. Our favorite part.
Yay.
As you may or may not know, we have a giveaway happening for members of our Discord server. We're giving away 3 physical copies of Radiant Citadel. Last week we announced the first winner. Today we're gonna announce the second winner. I'm sure this whole process is very fun and not annoying for anybody who signed up for the giveaway. But the second winner of today's giveaway, we're gonna drop your name in chat in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drum please. It's in chat. Congratulations, person.
Yay, congratulations.
We're so happy for you.
So happy.
I will reach out to you to get your shipping details and make sure you get your book in no time. With that said, if you would like to join this giveaway, because we still have one more book to give out and we're keeping signups open until we give it out, join our Discord server. For that, you can go to Desis&Dragons.com/Discord and Shubham will put it in chat in 5, 4, 3, 2. Sorry, no, he won't. We'll just put it in chat. But come join our Discord. We run a lot of games. We play a lot of games. It's a great community. Everybody here can attest to it. And if they don't, I am totally not holding a knife to their backs. But yeah, come join us. It's a great place. Other than that, I don't have any announcements.
Indrani, we do not burn people on the server with our knives. That's what we have mods for.
Right. No, they have gadas. Like they have those big banhammers, right?
Exactly.
Shout out to P for drawing those because they're incredible.
Mhm.
Yes. I am so bad at this. One day, 10 years down the line, maybe if I'm still doing this, I'll get better. But I'm going to throw it back to you, Siva.
Thank you. And I am the dungeon master for this campaign. My name is Shiva, he, him, and I can't wait to get started on today's session of Wildemount Faith and Fury. Last we left off, our intrepid band of adventurers were caught in a political quagmire in the Jewelers' Dominion, in the capital city of Zadash. As food was running low, this independent nation of the Jewelers' Dominion was looking for answers in the heavens. A prayer was organized on the day of grand celebrations in Lexington of the 5-year reign of Emperor Manfred Wendell. the Baron Inoculatus was searching for answers from his deity, Sarenrae or Ray, and invited his close advisors, including our party members, as well as other notable members of the Zadash administration, to join him in an evening of prayer and a watch party to witness the Emperor's great speech. As tensions grew within the council itself, Emperor Manfred Dwendal offered a peace treaty to the people of the Julius Dominion. He agreed to fold the territory of the Julius Dominion within that of the Empire and offered 6 prominent deities as acceptable deities within the Empire's territory. Prince Orman, the head priest of the Temple of Raven Queen, formed a small alliance with Thurwin, the head priest of the Temple of Pelor, and Naz Odekar, the chief military strategist of the Julius Dominion, as they plotted a coup against the Baron himself. Their attempts were, however, thwarted, as the group led the Baron to safety. But all is not safe in Zadash. With a mob already running riot in the streets of Zadash, the Baron and the Baroness fled, escorted by the group and a handful of loyal soldiers, as they make their way to the Baron's hometown, Alfield, a few days south, where the Baron feels that his trusted soldiers and his army can fend off any impending attack from the Zemnian Empire. We pick up our journey midway through this travel to Alfield, as the party makes camp one night before their arrival into the city of Alfield. Tents are set up, a campfire is roaring, and the mood here is one of despair. Soldiers who are loyal to the Baron are slightly confused as to why they're running away from their own capital. But they trust in the Baron, and the Baron trusts in Ray. As you all sit around the camp, you look around and you see the Baron talking to his soldiers, motivating them, just generally distributing food and rations. He leaves you to yourself for the time being. The night is dark, the campfire is roaring, and the smell of fresh meat gets your attention as food is being prepared.
It's been a somewhat of a lengthy journey.
It's been a day's travel since then. Yeah, you've traveled a whole day. This is the second day's travel. You're spending the night here just on the outskirts of Alfield, and next day morning you will be entering this.
Gotcha.
It has been a lengthy journey. Perhaps before we take our final steps into Alfield and meet with the High Cleric, who is hopefully somewhere around here, we can partake in some food. I feel like I haven't really eaten properly in a while. Though I imagine most of the Dominion hasn't.
Is that what we are doing? Are we looking for the High Cleric over here? We don't really have any information on their whereabouts, do we?
It's a place to start, right? Because the High Cleric is, well, the Temple of Ray, the larger one, I believe, is here.
There is a temple
Yeah,
here.
you would know that. You would know, like, the most prominent landmark in Alfield is a Temple of Ray, which the temple in Zadash was big and like grand, but that is nothing in comparison to what's in Alfield.
There is a large temple of Ray here, that is correct. Well, I wonder if he would be there.
Hopefully, that would certainly make things easier if we could meet him. But food is what I wish to suggest. Would the rest of you would like to join me?
Certainly. We must be prepared and strong if there are any dangers on the way. I do not know if our little posse has been tracked by, well, either Empire people or our own people. Not know if we should look for hospitality anywhere.
I don't think there's a distinction between the two anymore, for what it's worth.
Well, perhaps we could still reason with our people.
At this
I
point,
would
Ishkar comes back. He was nearby, but he's actually going to come back from the food. And one head in each hand, he's got like a bowl with some of the meat, with some of the food. So like, there was a line. There was no point all of us waiting. And he's just like passing out the bowls to you guys on our food, and you guys eat.
Uh,
What are we talking about?
What our next steps are from here, I suppose.
Allfield, right?
Yes.
Yes, but what once we reach there? Is that a place that is defensible enough to protect the Baron and Baroness?
Well, that is it's got like the temple to Sarenrae, right? One of the biggest ones. I imagine it'd be easier to get support from there, given that they aren't going. They'd be very angry about the Empire. They're not getting anything out of it, so it would probably be a safer place. But our main objective, I believe the Baron said he thinks the priest, maybe, or the head priest, the last known whereabouts was here. Our main thing is finding the high priest, and that's where we're going to get clues.
Indeed. Well, do we know, DM, about the fact that Naz has kind of taken over?
You're getting rumors about that. Like Naz has been installed as the chief, the interim head of Zadash. They have not yet like openly declared Zadash as an independent country or nation yet, but Naz is like the interim administrator of Zadash.
Should we be trying to reach with other barons or other larger powers to try and? Otherwise, if we don't, Naz is going to.
who do you suggest?
Out of character, who would I know to suggest?
I mean, the Council of Clerics is like the biggest voice. If you know somebody in the Council of Clerics, that would be like all the head clerics of the different temples. They form the Council of Clerics.
Yeah.
Trent's is definitely like a prominent voice in the Council of Clerics.
Yeah. So I imagine, but there's more than 6 clerics represented there. I imagine in the council. So only 6 of them, I imagine, would be happy with this, while the others would probably be very upset. So we find other priests who represent those temples. We can locate them, especially with their elected high cleric. Should be easy enough. It should be easier to like spread and gather the support quickly. But without finding the high cleric, I don't know if they'll necessarily gather to us. We have to find the high cleric to get them all coordinated, or we are doomed.
But that will only sway our own people, if we are so lucky. It does nothing to combat the threat of the Empire.
Were you about to say something?
No. You see Valara almost like her shoulders shift as if she was about to speak but when somebody else chimes in, she just quiets down and just listens.
Well, I believe half of the reason the ones who did so is because they haven't heard anything from the High Priest. When your leader disappears in a time of crisis, but if the leader comes back, then perhaps they'd see another path and they would perhaps change their tones.
I think there is wisdom in that. It is concerning that the High Cleric is not visible at this time of need. If we can find him, we could rally people around him and the Baron, assuming that the cleric himself is not in the wrong. His actions have me concerned, to say the least.
Yes,
A
the ring of
slender hand touches your shoulder gear, and you turn around and you see the Baroness Tessandra. You see this slender, tall lady with white flowing hair. Usually you would see the Baron more well kept, but now on the travel, hair is flowing. She's wearing very, very simple, a flowing, simple grey robe, and she has like a bowl of stew and meat in her hand, and she like taps you on the shoulder and says, "Mind if I join you?"
Of course, your ladyship. And Gear will step to the side so that she may join us.
Yeah,
I
immediately stand up.
Chuckles and
Are we like sitting on like logs or just like sitting on
I'm
the ground?
guessing logs. I'm
Yeah.
I'm imagining logs and campfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get up and I curtsy, but it's a very awkward sort of like I'm not like poised or composed enough, but I'll do the sort of like what I need to do and then sit back down.
Ishka just does the big
He-
full bow and back leg like extends, almost like it's about to start a dance. Very like he's done this before in a lot of places, and just like stands up properly, and then gives a space at the cleanest part of the log we can find, which isn't great. It's a log.
She chuckles a little bit and she says, "Oh, I think we're well past formalities at this stage. I mean, I don't even know what it means to be a baroness anymore. Chased out of my own home.
You are still our baroness,
Yes,
Your
and
Majesty.
whatever whatever remnants of order we can cling on to, we must in these times of chaos.
She kind of nods and she looks at you, Ishkar and Valara, and she sees like, especially Ishkar, you have the Ion symbol painted on your forehead. And I must thank all of you for coming to our rescue in our time of need. I'm sure this hasn't been easy for any of you.
Oh, well, I don't think it's been easy on anybody. I mean, everybody out there. I just think I have it better than others seem to in this moment, so I'm counting my blessings. And I sort of touch this little like amulet which has no sigil on it, it's just worn out. And like I look up into the skies and look back.
It's not so different for me. The Empire has been, and he's about to swear and then stops himself, like messing me about since I was in my early 20s. So this is, I understand it's a much bigger deal for you, but I was already adamant against them, so it just furthers the resolve. But if you need any, but what are you feeling? What are you feeling right now?
Well, I really haven't given it much thought. We've been on the run, and she kind of like looks in the direction of what the Baron is doing, and the Baron is like sitting with his soldiers. They're enjoying like hearty meal, sharing stories. There's like some occasional laughter, some nervous laughter that comes from that direction. And she looks at all of you and she says, I've never seen him so unsure about our next steps in all my life. I mean,
War demands a different kind of attitude, one that is not easily adapted. I take comfort in the fact that the Baron is unsure at this point, then simply rushing ahead into some foolhardy reaction to dangerous circumstances.
you don't have to tell me about it. I mean, Enoch is nothing like Enden.
No, I suppose
Enden,
not.
Enden and Enoch go back a long way. She like kind of like relaxes a bit and she says, Enoch was about to become the head cleric. And
What did he?
yeah, I mean, a matter of circumstances, but he decided that he is more suited for the administrator role than a religious one. So Enden took over.
Can I just, as everybody's speaking, right? Once the Baroness has settled in, and any responses everybody's giving, I'm just watching, trying to gauge how not truthful, but sincere people are being in what they're saying, right? So whether it's even the
Are you like
barrenness,
checking your? Okay,
like
but
an
are you
insight,
just
I would
your
say.
group?
The group and the barrenness, right? Anytime anybody speaks up, like the reason I'm just quiet so much is because, when the baroness asks how everybody is doing, and I respond, and then Ishka responds, and then Gear speaks.
Mhm.
I'm just doing
Roll an
insight
insight
checks.
check. Roll an insight. Just roll one insight check. We will see.
Just one.
This is just like a general. I'm going to treat this as your general group observation, and then if someone says something specific, we'll get into like a further roll, or we'll
All
see.
right. Do I have
Yeah.
advantage on
And,
this one?
Yeah, you have advantage on you have advantage on all your insight checks.
And while this is going on, and I'm just like gently like touching the, like my rapier is always by my side, my weapon's always by my side. I'm always touching the hilt where my gem is. Subtle spell detect thoughts.
Ooh, on.
Well, detect thought is
Baroness?
everyone's general's surface thoughts. But like, oh yeah, I got picked.
Ah.
Like as people are talking, I'm like looking at their reactions. So it's just like everyone one at a time. I'm not probing in. This is just surface thought stuff. I'm not doing anything that requires a will saving throw.
Okay.
Mm.
You can
Yeah.
focus your the thing and on any one creature, right? So like it goes turn by turn. So let me know who you're focusing first, and then.
Sure, that makes sense. The Baroness, because she seems most confused. Like she's like saying, "Oh, I don't know what to do." All that. So yeah, that's the first one.
Okay. Everybody deafen except Chirag.
Wait.
How far is Ishkar sitting from me?
I
Out of
would imagine
curiosity.
like not more than 10 feet, not more than 10-15 feet, if you're all like sitting around a campfire.
Is it more than 5 feet?
Up to Ishkar.
I don't know. I came in. I gave drinks to everyone. I think can be within 5 feet. Why not? Go for it.
Okay.
5 feet is significant. We're all on logs, so yeah. Well, it's close enough that you, as a monk, could probably like slide in close to people, like 6 feet. Like slide in 1 feet, I don't notice, and then yeah.
Yeah, I'll say if you want to be close to Ishkar, you can like shimmy your way up closer to Ishkar if you want.
All right. No, I'm good for now. But all right.
Yeah, just for here, because I'm using the. Oh yeah, anyone watching? How is a wizard able to do that? I have met a magic adept, so I'm using subtle spell, which is why it doesn't have any material or book or any kind of components like that.
The reason that's actually really cool. I didn't know wizards could get that. Is that a Blade Singer thing?
No, it's feet.
Oh, it's
No,
feet.
it's feet.
Gotcha. Very cool.
That's it.
Now, as a follow-up feat, I have Mage Slayer, and anytime a spellcaster casts a spell within 5 feet of me, I can react to stop it. Here's the thing: I don't want to stop it, but I want to know if to be able to react to something that happens next to you, you need to be aware of it. I don't necessarily want to stop him from casting it, but
does it say you have to see it, or does it just say
it just says a creature within 5 feet of you casts a spell. It has no like seeing or hearing requirements.
Sure, I'll say you're aware of it.
Okay. Cool. I won't do anything, but
should we take off mute ourselves?
Yes, please. Just deafen for a second, and let me talk to Chirag. I'm good.
Oh wait, we were not deafened now.
Now deafen yourself now.
Ah man,
Deafen now.
All this time. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, Ishkar. You see two people, the Baron and the Baron and another person who is very familiar from your childhood, as they the Baroness just recalls the times that they have spent growing up, and how the other person, not the Baron, the other person was always this competitive. I'm not going to say aggressive, but like a very
ambitious,
headstrong, ambitious, steadfast person who always like knew what they wanted and went for it. And the Baron was always like the more cajoling kind, and a rush of memories just like floods past. So you're just seeing like a montage of them like at their highs, at their lows, and it's definitely a person that you remember in your childhood.
Oh, it's that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, there we go. I know it. Okay. So wait, she was saying her husband was in line to be a head priest, but instead decided to go into administration.
Mhm.
Right? Okay, good. Just so I'm all caught up. Yeah. So I like
the other,
that.
so the other person, the other person
Yeah.
became the head cleric.
The
You
current
would
head
know
cleric.
because you know the person,
Yeah.
the current head cleric, and you would also know the person's name is Endendred. That's
Mhm.
ENDEN space DRED. And you definitely know this person from your
Yeah.
From your
It's fine. It's fine. Yep. Definitely doesn't get a reaction out of me. He's just a guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what I see, and then see that, and then I'll just move on to one of the others. I think we can put them back.
Unless you have any follow-up questions.
Yeah. No. See that. I know who it is. I know that's the person. So yeah. That person is the current head priest, right? And then
Head cleric, yeah.
got it, head cleric. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's all. I don't have any further questions. We can tell them to undeath.
Okay, I'm gonna call them back now.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll against Valera's insight roll? As she's like watching me. She says she's watching everybody, but do you want to do a roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Valara, did you roll an insight?
Yeah, I rolled a 27.
Whoa.
I have a low check.
Whoa.
I
So
don't think
I'm going to let you roll. It's just to see your reaction, right? You're not saying anything, Ishkar?
No, I'm not saying anything. There's just like a physical reaction, which there's no way I can get it
then-
unless I get it. Even if I crit, it's lower than that number. And we aren't using one D&D rules where
I would
crits are always successes. So it's just like that's gonna get it.
Now's a
would
good time to
say-
switch. No.
I
They're
was
gonna
going to
see.
say roll a performance to like keep a straight face on. If you roll an nat
even
20, I'll let you beat a 27. Sure.
Sure. Okay, let's go.
If he rolls a what? Natural 20?
Nat 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, definitely did not. It was a 10. You see, my hand was like near my sword for reasons, and then you like see by my weapon, my hand's just like face is impassive, hands clench very tightly. You see the veins pop out just there for a second, but because you're watching, you notice it, and then it's like gone. Like I realize it's there, and I stop. But you definitely picked that up.
I picked up you casting the spell. Is that what we're talking about?
No, you saw me after
No.
I cast the spell. I got free.
Right.
My hands clenched.
You
Anger or fear
picked-
or something. It's
Right.
like a big emotion.
Yeah, you picked
Um,
up him casting the spell at looking at the Baroness, and then this reaction, and now we pick up and what do you do?
No, the insight was actually before the spell casting, right?
Oh,
That
that
was-
just,
Mhm.
it was just like a
I'm just gonna
maintenance.
let it like run for
Gotcha.
a bit
Okay, cool.
for some
Just
time because you said you're observing the group, right?
I was also observing what people were saying, if Gear, Ishkar were being sincere in their words to the Baroness as well. Sai's words have
Say that
been
again.
stuck in my head. What Sai has let me know? Sai has let me know
Mhm.
that there is a spy amongst us. That there is somebody feeding information back to the Dominion. And until I figure it out, my brain is hyper aware of everyone and everything. And every word seems like a thinly veiled lie. So I'm just,
Meanwhile, Leo and Gear are like, the pepper in the stew is really good. You should try some of this. And the shortbread, really impressive that they managed to make it in this.
I will insight check that too.
Yes,
Yes.
shortbread and pepper is a code.
They're speaking in thieves' tongue. Thieves'
Really?
gang.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Never know.
With these,
It's like that. It's like that scene, right? Like the weather is really, it's such pleasant weather we are having.
But yeah, 27.
No, like, okay, fine. The pepper is good. Like, sure.
I'm joking.
No, the Baroness does continue. Like, as you're doing all this, the Baroness does continue. But, I think the last thing they said was how the Baron Enoch was in line to be High Cleric but declined, and then Endin, the next person, took charge and became the High Cleric. Yeah, the Baroness just looks at all of you, just reminiscing about the past. She says,
Your
looks at-
ladyship, if I may ask a question. You're saying that Endin was not.
No one said the name. Wait, did we say the name?
No,
Yeah,
she said the name. She said the
Yeah.
name. She said the name. She said the first name.
You're saying that Endin. Was that always their plan to do what they did?
I certainly can't speak for what the Baron was planning with Endin before I met the Baron, but I mean, not really. Endin is known to be headstrong. He does his own thing, doesn't consult anyone, says that the gods will him to do yada yada yada. Enoch always falls for it.
So, do you not put much trust in Endin's word?
I mean, he has been. I don't want to mean to speak ill of a High Cleric. Please don't take this the wrong way, but Endin's always been a bit too much. If that's the best way to put it. He's always never sees reason in anything.
Zealous,
Just
is that a
acts.
word that you would use for Endin?
That's a bit strong for my taste to characterize him like that, but I wouldn't blame you if you call him that.
Your Highness, you are in the company of trusted allies. You can speak freely.
Roll persuasion.
Have advantage on all. Oh no, I'm not extorting truth. Never mind. So it's just not. 15.
She looks around and she says, "Yeah, I'm grateful for your help, but we must be careful. I mean, we always looked at Trent as one of our biggest supporters. Look how that turned out. Not that I don't trust any of you. I just wish that you all would keep alert in these difficult times as well."
That is very fair. Speaking of trends, I look around. What do we know about him? How long has he been with you and the Baron? And he seemed quick to switch loyalties.
You mean the head priest of the Matron of the Crown?
Matron of Ravens, yeah.
Raven.
Matron of Ravens, thank you.
Yes, him.
I mean, I don't know him as personally, like I know Endin, but he's always vocal and always seems reasonable. Don't know what pushed him over this time.
Do you think he's being reasonable? I mean, certainly if you were to look at it from a...
Self-interest way?
Yes, that. I am
Can't-
only asking questions. I apologize. I don't mean to offend.
I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in Trent's head right now. And planning a coup is very different from a rational debate. I don't know. I can't speak for Trent's action here.
That's a very good point.
Can't say I'm a fan too.
Do you believe?
She finishes the last of us. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Leo. No, go ahead, Leo.
Do you believe that Endon's actions with this ring of gold scenario? Do you believe this is in keeping with his previous actions, or has someone set him up?
She looks at you, Leo, and there's like a little, like a hint of sadness, and especially Valara, you picked this up. There's like a hint of sadness and empathy as she looks at Leo, and she tells Leo, "Oh, brother Leo, you of all people understand what Endon has gone through."
We do.
I mean,
Still been.
I don't have to tell you to imagine to be in his shoes because you already are. And
yet, to go to such lengths, even so.
If
would you not?
If I may interject, you speak of lengths, but do we have an exact count of the lengths that the High Cleric has gone through at this point? It feels to me that there is perhaps a blurring of lines between rumor and reports from the Empire, and then our own knowledge of facts.
This is fair. They might be exaggerating or underplaying it.
She kind of shrugs and honestly, I feel like that I'm in that exact same situation. Enoch doesn't tell me anything, and what I know of Endon, he's always plotting and scheming. He put together this band of spies. He called them the Rings of Gold on his own initiative. Enoch had nothing to do with it. But over there in the Empire, they blame the Baron, as if he sanctioned the whole thing.
Yes, it is concerning, and at the same time, I wonder, there is also a matter of justice, which is concerned with the facts of the matter. If the High Cleric did do all these things, then it does seem problematic and something that perhaps needs to be addressed definitely. But on the other hand, I'm wondering if it matters, because it seems that the Empire is set on expanding its borders even when at any opportunity, and whether we serve justice or not, they seem indifferent to it, and I wonder if that perhaps means that we need to act without worrying too much about what the High Cleric is doing, and simply by rallying forces and defending ourselves. And I say this not because I necessarily want to go to war, but because I do not find myself comfortable with the Empire trying to do what such an expansionist behavior. It leaves me uncomfortable. I think it is an overreach of the crown, and it is a disservice to the people who are part of that land.
Mm-hmm. She kind of nods, finishes the last scoop of the stew and meat. She gets up and she says, I can't say I'm much of a military strategist, so I'll leave that planning to Enoch. But I will leave you with this. I once witnessed a heated argument between the Baron and Endon Dread about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, that's ENDN space DRED. That's the name of the High Cleric. I witnessed a heated discussion between the two of them on justice and what it means to answer to crimes. And I always remember what Endon said. He was of the firm opinion that we do not answer to any laws of mankind. We only atone for our sins before Rei herself. Only she is worthy to judge us.
That
It seemed a bit too
is-
extreme for my taste, but it just stayed with me. And she gets up, about to leave, but she's still wrapping up the conversation, but she's indicated that she's done with dinner. And
I'll stand up, give a polite just polite nod. It's like, we thank you for your company, ladyship. I hope to see you on the other end of these events. Hopefully they will resolve in a manner that is peaceful.
Here's hoping.
I hope, yeah, just hoping to peace. And she carries her bowl, empty bowl, and walks away into one of the tents. You all have tents assigned to you. If you want, you can rest, or you can sit back.
While we were doing all this and having that, I had moved my protectors to Gear and Leo, and not Valera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Garrett, you can tell me what surface thoughts.
My surface thoughts are that I am Gear is definitely just generally concerned with what is exactly he's saying. He is confused as to whether he should currently focus his efforts on rallying forces and helping the Baron make a stand against a empire who he doesn't agree on a moral level, or if he should focus on solving the matter of what is the High Cleric up to, in case that is actually perhaps at the crux of everything. And it's a mystery that he doesn't know how to wrap his head around. So it's a very surface level. He's speaking very plainly. He's not sure what to do, but he's currently trying to go ahead in the best direction he can.
Mm-hmm. And Leo?
I just answered. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I told you, nothing will happen. Nobody's going to get confused.
Yeah.
Leo's thinking.
Listen, I've called you Gear, almost called you Gear twice today.
Amazing.
Leo's thinking, well, you can first feel emotions from them. As we are on the way to Allfield, you do sense that there is like a weird mixture of anxiety, of grief, of expectation almost. And then when Lady Cassandra, the Baroness, spoke a little bit of Endon, there was a sharp stab of grief which went through at one point. But surface level actual thoughts, Leo is thinking that she should not pretend to be informal with us. As it is, the people are kind of rioting and seem to have no leader. If she pretends now that she's informal and not a leader, it's just going to amplify the whole thing again. She should still act as a person in charge, which is why Leo has not sat down through the whole talk.
Every time he takes notes, my eye touches. I'm like, what's he writing down?
Yeah.
So ominous.
Yeah.
It's just bad memory. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, just like that. Well, yeah, that was quite a bit. I just
It was, but we didn't really get much idea of what we're planning to do next.
No.
We find Denton.
Yes.
What then?
Are
we going to put him back in power here? Or are we going to enact a justice upon him? What? Are we going to offer him up as a placation to the Empire?
You two are paladins. You're involved in the religious circumstances more closely than myself. Would either of you know what happens if something happens to the High Cleric?
How do you mean? What happens if something happens to the High Cleric? What is something?
For example, if you wanted to serve him justice, and you what kind of justice can you put to someone who's ahead of the thing? Can you make him resign? Can you put him in prison? And if in those cases, does he remain High Cleric, or how is a new person assigned? Because if there's no way for that person to leave, then we cannot properly receive judgment without ruining the entire circle of clerics.
To be honest,
You pose an interesting question, though I do not think it has a simple answer. But I will say this: if the crimes that the High Cleric is accused of are true, and there is no good reason for them, which I would hope to extract the fact of this matter from him directly. If I find that there is no good reason, then I can't imagine any cleric, and I at this point I also look to Leo, or paladin of Sarenrae, or any other god for that matter, would stand by him. In fact, I'm firmly of the belief that the deities in their wisdom would not want to be represented by such a figure. And if they do, then I'm not sure I would like to stand by the deities myself.
you do make it hard sometimes.
That they do.
That's very fair, and that's an entitled opinion. I imagine you got some that may be related to what you were speaking to the goddess Sarenrae about when you communed the other day.
Yes.
You asked if he's following her path.
Yes, and she seemed to say that he used, but we're not certain if he still is. But most likely there is, at least even in Sarenrae, some doubt about his intentions. So I currently am putting more faith in the words of Sarenrae than her High Cleric. No offense, Leo.
You are welcome to put your faith where you deem it fit.
If only the Empire was that kind. I do have to ask. I turn to Ishkar. Did you learn anything earlier?
He nods and he says I've been keeping my scouts and all. And then he looks down and he says I forgot to get myself some food. Villa, would you welcome me to the fire? It's getting quite dark, so I can get a meal, so I can get some food.
Of course. I get up.
Gets up, walks, and just heads over to the food. And then when we're a little bit out of earshot, I said this is very kindly. Yeah, so I was trying to cast detect magic to try and get a vibe on what they were actually thinking.
Mhm.
I don't believe the Baroness anything. It doesn't seem that she was saying anything that she didn't really think. Just was thinking about the High Cleric back when he was called Eden, and not really much more. Just a wave of information, not anything helpful. Unfortunately, I was hoping for more hints about where the cleric might be, or if they had more information that could help us find him. Were you able to figure anything out? Your intuition with people have always been better than me.
Unfortunately, I picked up as much as you did.
No. Although I did notice something interesting.
Yes?
If you, again, very fragmented, though I didn't want to peek into closely with paladins, because if they don't react to me looking through minds as well as you do. I believe Leo had an interesting reaction to the true name of the High Cleric.
Yes, I picked up on that too. They seemed distressed about
Yes.
something that might have happened in their past.
I don't know much. I only know the bare basics of the good hobgoblin's history, just the general amount. But I don't know what could cause that reaction. Do you have any idea why they might be thinking that way?
I find out, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you. And he's just like that. So second, went at the stew.
Oh, I'm full. I've had my fill of food and conversation.
Fair enough. I understand. I just puts in a half ration instead of the full one, because we're short on food.
Tell me, What
Mhm.
is it that you hope happens?
Well, let's see.
What is an
Honestly,
ideal?
honestly, I want whoever's in charge of the High Cleric, whoever's in charge of the High Clerics. From the sound of it, I don't know the High Cleric very well, but from what I've read in the mind, what we've heard just now, he's very headstrong. That he's very stick in the, I answer to no one but Sarenrae, and not the laws of man. Not the best person to establish either a peace or a resistance or just gathering people together, especially they're not talking. That's why I was trying to figure out, what is the rules for replacing? Is it black smoke as the clerics commune someone else? Is it a new person is nominated? And I look at the Baron as I say that.
No, Baron's out of earshot, but
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're getting close to the Baron and you say that rules of replacing the High Cleric, the Baron kind of like turns to you and just gives you like a very I don't want to entertain this right now look. Like, shut it down.
Yeah, I was
Like,
trying to
just
keep
a
it quiet, but
fierce-
his perception's very good. I believe it. Is my detector worn off? There's only a minute.
It lasts
long.
for a minute.
Yeah.
I'll say it's one off. Like,
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, pretty long
I can't
conversation.
read his. So I just I smile politely. Ways.
When we walk, sorry, go on.
No.
When
Idle
we
chatter, of course.
when we step away from the campfire, I will keep an ear out for any
Sorry,
movements.
before you do that, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
As you keep your eye out, what's your passive perception?
Mine.
And Ishkar, roll me a d20, please.
Will do.
My passive perception is
What? I got a 9. Is that the roll that kills us all?
my
Probably.
passive perception is 14, which seems weirdly low.
It would be higher for you.
Yeah, is that right?
What's your wisdom?
My wisdom is a +5.
Wait, why does your passive perception says 15?
It's plus
here
4.
for me?
Yeah, so it should be +9.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Let me refresh, see if that fixes it. But
No, there's no. Valara doesn't have proficiency in perception.
oh yeah, there you go.
Ah, that was your
So it's
first
just a
mistake.
+5.
Fair enough. +5 is better than +4.
It's just a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15.
Okay. So Ishkar, you feel like a small buzzing in your backpack. I'm assuming you have your backpack on at the moment.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's 15, not 14.
and-
Yeah.
Yep. And Valara, you pick up on that, like just something like buzzing into this thing. Ishkar, you would know that that's the sending
Yeah.
code. You don't need to respond to it right now. You can like always get it like whenever.
Mhm.
But you know you've got a message.
I got it.
I will head back to the party and
Yeah.
I'll turn around.
While you're making your way back, I'll just turn to Leo, and because you guys left and Shiva, GM, I feel like that was pretty odd how they were like, oh, we need to get food, and then and Valara did say, did you hear? Did pick up anything? And so I'll turn to Leo and be like, do you know what they were referring to? That seemed like there's a side to the story I'm not entirely aware of.
Sounds to me like they wanted to be alone for a bit.
Are you planning to sneak up on them, or are you just like?
No, we just talk. I just want to talk. But I'm not entirely sure why they would like to do that. But all right. Do you know them very well? I've only heard a little bit about Ishkar and Valara. My focus has been, on other matters for a long time now.
I've worked with Valara a bit, yes. We helped bring the supplies across the border a little covertly at times. But yes, I've worked with Valara. He is well-intentioned and did good work. Helped feed many people who desperately needed it.
And Ishkar?
Well, I believe Ishkar helped as well, but I'm not quite so well acquainted with him. I've only met him briefly a few times. I've not had the pleasure of having a long chat, unfortunately.
It's interesting. I've only picked up some bits of information about him, and it's not a lot. And I find myself now wondering about the odd company that we have come to keep in this matter, because there is a paladin of Sarenrae, or someone who, I imagine you, of course, do pay homage to Sarenrae, considering you led the prayer.
Indeed.
And then there's me, and my matters have been mostly with handling criminal offenders here in the Dominion and the Empire. And then my actions mostly led to some friendship with the Baron, and therefore I find myself here. But then we have Ishkar, who, from the Dominion, if I remember correctly, moved to the Empire for a short time, came back for, well, I wouldn't say dishonorable reasons. He flunked this visiting school that the Empire has, is what I heard. And now he works, or before at least all of this started up, worked as a dance instructor. It's a most curious assembly of talents and skills.
Yes, but it has been proved useful.
I suppose so. I'm glad for company. They seem uniquely talented. I saw how quickly Velara moved when Nas pulled that knife, and even Ishkar, I mean, I appreciate him getting us this stew, so I do like the company. It's just, as I sit here, I do find myself wondering, curious.
I understand. It is odd. Well, but we are in times where we can not say no to those who offer help.
No, you're quite right there. Quite right there.
As long as the intentions are good, I think we can work with them.
I do wish I had a better way of knowing people's intentions. It would make my work a lot easier. But it is not a skill set I have.
Some of us may have spells which could help with that, if you require. And I do not think it's going to be something that I can do subtly. But certainly I can at least enforce a spell, and if required, we can have people at least be honest.
Are you speaking of Zone of Truth?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, I have also learned this, but it is the incorrect approach. It puts too much pressure on the words that a person says and not the intent behind them. That's where the true, matters lie.
Well, for that, my friend, you need to get into their minds, and I have no powers to do such things.
Nor do I.
I can get into their insides with my weapons, but not their minds.
That is most amusing. I do like, but no, we should not tear anybody's insides apart. Not yet, anyways.
I'm sure we will have to do some tearing soon. Hopefully not.
You jest, but I hope not. I hope.
You all reconvene.
I have a little. When I step away, I've heard the buzzing. Do I hear the ruffling of you? You did this. Did you pick it up once I was moving away?
That's the bowl.
Oh, that's the bowl.
That's
Gotcha.
He's not.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling it out or anything.
Yeah. I turn around and I will walk. And if I may make a little dramatic addition to that scene Gear and Leo just had, I walk in, maybe catching the tail end of that conversation. Is that okay? Unless it was very hush-hush.
Sure.
It's fine, but I was gonna head. I'm heading back there as well to finish eating. But if you want to get there first, by all means, just know I'm coming.
You're following, right?
Yeah.
But that little head start. When I get there, I'll just say, astute observations, Gear, and one I think that you should pull those threads. Oh, hello.
What happened? Did someone tear their clothes?
No, but there was some talk about tearing. I got the tail end of that. Violence always makes me a little nervous.
Oh,
Anyway,
that
how's
is
the
good.
stew?
Good. Same as you just had.
Oh, the second servings always seem either better or worse depending on how hung. I don't. If that is that just me? Sorry, I'm rambling.
I've only had the one, so I can't compare it to anything.
I am personally, I'm surprised that I enjoy the stew in these parts of the land. I prefer the ones made far in the north in the mountains. This lowlander stew is perhaps not the most impressive, but I am nevertheless this time moved to admire it.
Tastes like home.
Okay. Um,
It just really likes
You
stew,
all-
guys. There's no more
Sure.
RP to that.
sure.
Yeah.
You
He
wanna-
reaches.
Even if
yeah,
a
he reaches-
rock made stew for him, he would drink it.
Yeah.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, you see Ishka like reach into the backpack, like it's on a belt pouch where you saw rumbling a little bit ago, reaches in and then pulls out a spice pot, like a little spice rack. Said, like, here to help you make the stew go down easier. I know how you like it with more flavor. Passes off to Gear.
Oh, I didn't know you were familiar with my preference for spices. That's
We've hung out for some time. I listen.
that's
I got it before we left.
I
Well,
suppose
not that
so.
day, obviously, but I was going to give it at a more appropriate time. But needs must.
most endearing, my friend. Most endearing.
Turns out spices are a lot cheaper when there's no food.
That does put a better taste in my mouth, but
Yes.
yes, you're right.
That
should
might
fix
fix it.
Yes.
I now find myself wanting for something sweet.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, you have our company.
So you, as a night goes sets in, you all call it a night. Retire into the tents. Unless anybody has anything to do for the night, we can pick up the next day in Orphan.
I do have. Oh, go on.
Do you want to type me what the stone ringing?
Oh, are you just gonna like listen to it at the end of the night, like somewhere?
Yeah. Privacy of my own. Yeah, privacy of my own hand. Obviously, I'm not going to do it. Whatever this is. Open.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, if someone
I will
else
tell
want
you
to do
after
something
this.
first, we'll do that.
No,
I have
because
nothing.
it'll be a whisper. It'll be a
Yeah, yes.
whisper. I don't want to like do the whisper and then end on the break. So we will pick that up as soon as we get back from break.
Ah,
Speaking
Love
of,
it.
yeah, that dinner thing made me like very hungry, so I'm gonna quickly grab a bite. And
Me too.
Soup.
I'm so hungry right now.
Go get
I
food.
cooked, but I didn't eat. So I'll be back.
all right.
Also,
Also,
that was
just-
a fun campfire session. My butthole was clenched the entire time.
Meanwhile, Gear and I like no.
Gear and you, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
so
like oblivious to all this shit. We're like, yeah.
I just like that you guys are doing this. It's like Johnny's flirting with another character.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's a great. That's a accurate takeaway.
Yep. Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying the show. Today's episode and the rest of the season is sponsored by Indie Game Cooperative, who are launching their Kickstarter on the 4th of October. It's called Apocalypse, the complete GM's guide to ending the world. It is a system agnostic guide which has incredible writers, and they're all giving you interesting tips, tools, and ideas on ending the world. The link for which is going to be in the description or in the chat if you're watching this on Twitch. And thank you so much for sponsoring the show, and hope you enjoy the rest of whatever is to come.
hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Wildemount Faith and Fury. And before we left off, our adventurers were setting up camp at a night's travel before Allfield, as the Baroness, a handful of loyal soldiers, and our party of 4 were making their way south to the safe haven of Allfield. Before we get started, I would like all of you to deafen once again, except Ishkar.
I would like to just quickly before we do that.
Okay, sure.
I'm hovering around. I'll take watch. It's all right. And I'm trying to see if I can catch or perceive any bits of what might be happening
Give me
in
a
like
stat
all of their
check
tents.
Give me a stat check contested with Ishkar's perception
I'm also gonna spy a little bit on Gear and Dio. I wonder what that whole thing about tearing people apart was.
Mhm.
I should be able to
Ishkar,
beat that. 18 stealth.
and Ishkar's what is it? A 7? Ooh, okay. Okay, Ishkar, within the safe confines of your tent, you rummage through your backpack and you fish out that sending stone that was given to you by Trents, and you pull it out, and you would know that the sending stone would it stores the message, and you can like hear it when you activate it from your end. So you hear the message from Trents.
I hear the message in my mind.
Yeah, you hear the
That's how
message in
sending
your mind.
works.
But if you
Yeah,
reply,
sure.
if you reply, you I'll say Valara catches the end of that reply.
Sure.
You hear saying, yeah, sorry. Something strange is afoot. The High Cleric planning ritual centered in Allfield and Komoda. There are notes from his home of an impending doom. You want me to say that again?
That line, Komoda?
Komoda is a city. It's a city like northwest from Allfield.
Ooh. Yeah. One more time.
It's another. Okay. Something strange is afoot. The High Cleric notes point to a ritual centered in Allfield and Komoda.
And Komoda. Okay.
And talks of impending doom. Let me just get Indrani back on.
Mhm.
As you hear that message, you can reply.
I have something clever to do, but there's no reason for me to do it because I failed my perception check. So instead, I'm going to go like, that doesn't sound great. Hope I find what's happening in Allfield regarding that. And like, I make sure that he goes out as well if I can. I don't know how many words that is, but like, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's sending stone is just one use. It's done. Like there is no further reply or communication.
And if someone was spying who naturally has got very good insight, they'd probably get like a big sense of worry in that like not anger, but just like worry. But yeah, that is.
Okay, I'm calling
what
everyone back now.
Oh, I also, after I pick up that little tidbit, I also make my way over to stealth my way over rather to Gear's tent, and I will just softly whisper, "May I come in? If you're still awake." Gear.
Yeah, like as you're like settling in for the night, you hear like a soft rustle outside your tent, and Valara is outside, asking permission to come inside.
Of course.
Step inside. Oh, this looks cozy. May I?
Of course, please. And Gil kind of stands up politely and stuff.
You are close to the Baron, yes? And the Baroness?
To an extent, yes.
I have heard you speak about your feelings towards all of these matters, and it seems like the one that makes most sense to me as well. Whatever is happening is troubling. However, your concerns earlier are perhaps misplaced, but very valid. I have good reason to trust. I paused for a moment just to hear any rustling outside to make sure that I have good reason to believe that, and I'll use one of my uses of my earring of message and mentally share this message with Gear. There is a spy amongst us, a spy for the Empire. I have my doubts about certain people, but I think it would be... I can keep renewing it a couple of times, so I'll get my whole message out. It would be improper to share them without any evidence. But trust your gut. You can reply to this message.
A spy is most concerning, but perhaps not all that surprising. Someone who would sabotage our attempts at discerning the truth could pose a greater threat to our ability to resolve this matter. I will certainly keep this in mind, but at the same time, if there is indeed a spy, how am I to say it's not to you?
Is that what your gut says?
Kind of curious. It's like, I'm not entirely sure I listen to my gut much in these matters.
What do you listen to?
The hair on my back,
That's intuition, right?
in a manner of speaking, yes. Instinct.
Trust it then. I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise, but for what it's worth, I would only be making matters difficult for myself if I gave you a heads up about. Or I could make you want to trust me more, which is also very fair. I see your...
Or it's perhaps the problem that a rumor of a spy sows more distrust amongst the ranks, making it harder for the Dominion to make a stand. There are many ways in which this information can be troublesome, and none of this is going to help me sleep better tonight.
Very fair. And at this point, we can't keep having messages in our head, right? So I take a deep breath and I say, look, I will share with you what I can. And you are welcome to take it with a grain of salt. I have no ill intentions here. I just want to make sure people get fed.
Insight check.
Roll an insight. Valara, roll a d20. Add either your persuasion or deception. Don't tell me what, but just
Natural 20.
Oh!
Thank you to Nonagon Dice. Era's got now available on nonagondice.com.
Not available, but you can commission it if you'd like.
Now available. You can get it right now.
But-
Place it, or it'll be shipped to you in a week.
Please don't. Oh, sorry.
wow.
That was loud.
Do we ring that every time someone says Nonagon Dice now?
Oh no. I was going to add persuasion. I have a plus
Even
5 to it.
just
I
tell
don't
me.
even know if I need to roll it. Because you rolled a natural 20.
Doesn't matter because the tie would go to Gil. So you can roll a
Yeah.
d20 if you want to like
Yeah.
try for a nat 20, but
Now here's the thing. I don't know how this would work because I am trying to persuade you of my intention, but I'm apparently not doing a very good job of it. So you can receive that however you want.
I'm mostly trying to discern if how honest you're being after having given this information, and if there might be more to what you're saying than what you've led on so far. So because the information of someone giving a spy, there being a spy, is as concerning as the person who passes it on. So
Yes.
I'm more just trying to ascertain if that's true than anything else.
I will say that
I'll say this. Sorry, I will add this because of the Nat 20. I'm going to reward that a bit. What is your Velara? What is your trinket that you have from the Cobalt Soul?
my trinket that I have from the Cobalt Soul.
Could be a magical item, non-magical item, anything that.
There is the amulet, right, that I wear.
Mm-hmm. That's the Ayun amulet. Right?
Oh, are you talking about the trinket?
No, anything. No. Anything that relates to the Cobalt Soul.
I would say that like the Ayun amulet, you see that while it is so old that like it's smoothed out, but you look closely enough, you can see the faint outlines of whatever the Cobalt Soul's sigil is.
I'll say while Velara is like trying to persuade you, for a very brief moment, she slips up and just like clutches that amulet, and then like just moves on as if nothing happened. But just in that like tiny flicker, you caught Velara clinging on to like this amulet that usually like take a closer look, you will realize that it is something to do with the Cobalt Soul.
GM,
which does not exist in the Duelist Dominion.
Exactly. I just wanted, for my benefit and the audiences, if you could elaborate on how much would I know of the Cobalt Soul and their general representation.
You spent some time in the Empire, so you would know that they are like a faction of librarians who are set up in the Zemnian Empire, and their entire pursuit is on the preservation of history and spreading the knowledge for future generations. They are not established in the Duelist Dominion at all, and they're only established within major cities of Lexington.
I will add to that. One of their key sort of beliefs is that they will expose the truth. They don't, I won't add to that, but like,
Got it.
Yeah, sure.
Got it. I will thank Velara for her information and be like, is that all?
Yes. How much do you trust the cleric? No, the paladin. You're both. Sorry, they did the.
Here?
Yes.
Leo seems to have been a devout and loyal subject of Sarenrae and her oaths, and has followed their oaths closely. As such, I respect them highly. My encounters with them have been mostly limited and in a professional capacity, so I cannot speak at length about their nature, but I found them to be forthcoming, helpful, and generally benevolent.
Yes, that has been my experience with them as well. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't the only one. Peer reviewing is what we call it. But I will take my leave now. Have a good night's sleep.
You too.
Yeah, Ishka, you were going to do something?
Yeah, can I go hang out in Leo's tent? Leo the Hobgoblin, not to be confused with Gear the Leonine.
Sure. Yeah. After you send that,
Yeah. I don't run into whoever's going into Leo's Leo's turn. I don't notice that. I just go to like Leo's and like I like do the equivalent of like knocking and like, hi, may I come in? It's Ishka.
Is this work related?
Honestly, no.
That seems worse somehow.
Yeah. I can come back with some documents if you want to make it work related. Want to invoice this?
You come in, make it fast. What do you need?
I honestly, and I need an honest person. And you're one of the most honest people. One of the two most honest people I know in this camp. Which surprisingly, both are paladins. Both are very honest. But I don't think he can help me with this. And I sat down.
Oh, what is it?
What do you've traveled with Valera for quite a while, right? Do you have a good judge on that?
I would think so. Yes.
Does she
Never.
Does she ever talk about me or just say anything like that? Any thoughts about me in any kind of way? And he's like starts looking nervously at his hands, like a teenager at that point, like twiddling his thumbs.
I do not pick up on this at all. I am just like, you want like a workplace recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just going to say, I mean,
with a passive instead of 10, for sure you don't pick up on this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I
know
love
what shit you guys are talking about. Well, I think Gigi mentioned you once when we did that run across the border. Just briefly mentioned that you had been helping in a logistics kind of way somewhere.
Oh,
Besides that, not really.
I see. And she's only seen me as like a logistics kind of person. She's never seen me as that of like a man or like a romantic kind of way. Or has she talked about that any kind of way?
At this point, I'm very taken aback. I'm like, I mean, that's something perhaps you should be asking her. But unfortunately, and he'll like give this awkward like, there kind of back. Unfortunately, at least not to me. But Vera doesn't gossip much that way that I know of. So she keeps her thoughts to herself. Perhaps it would be best if you approached her directly.
Maybe. I wanted to ask because I've not been in a long relationship, and you're the person I know who knows whether but also has been in a relationship. I'm sorry. Shouldn't I feel bad speaking about that? I apologize.
Well, not something I particularly like to remember, but you are correct indeed. I have been in a relationship. I don't know if I can offer you any advice on it, considering nature of it, but well, if I may help, I will do my best.
Thanks. I feel when I'm attracted to someone, I feel like very like normally I try and like find out, but I'm not very good at that. I'm sorry if I've been acting weird.
Well, these are stressful times, so I understand. How old are you again?
30s? He would be about 29 turning 30. But he's from a part of the region where they don't actually keep track of the day they were born. So he knows he's within a year or two. So he's either between 29 or 31.
Well, as I understand it, you have a long time to go, and then you will. I'm sure that if you speak honestly to Villara, maybe in a situation where we are all a little bit less jittery and a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you are honest, you will at least receive an honest answer, and whichever way that answer goes, it'll be at least it will set your mind at ease one way or the other.
In that case, I feel I should be honest with you. As part of
They're looking a little taken aback at this. Like, okay, so shit am I going to hear next?
you had a bad reaction to when the name Eldin was brought up, the name of the high priest.
Well, did I? I do not think it was a bad reaction.
Oh? Are you fond of him. He is the head of your specific goddess.
Yeah, he is the head of the church. Yes, that is true. I cannot say I'm particularly fond of them, and certainly the issue with the Ring of Gold has given me conflicted feelings about the whole matter. But to some degree, I do sympathize with him. It is a difficult situation that he's in. Yes. That is all I feel like I am at liberty to say.
Sure, of course. I'm sorry for keeping you up late, but thanks.
Not at all.
And yes, thanks. And I'll try and take your advice and, maybe.
All the best.
Like pats it and does like a bow and just heads out of there. I don't think it's gonna be a case of both of us come out of the tent, see each other, and then just walk back to our tent. We probably miss each other. It's up to the DM, whichever they prefer.
Both of you roll a d20. Let's see.
Oh my god.
So,
If you both roll less than 10 or both roll more than 10, and I'll say you cross paths. But if you're very 10, you miss each other.
more than 10.
Oh, I need to roll the d20.
Just looking around my tent, what happened?
Hey!
What did you roll?
I rolled a 9.
We missed each other.
Yeah,
by
you
minutes,
missed each other.
by seconds, we just missed each other.
You all settle in for the night, and a new
Yeah, I
dawn
do one
rises.
very, very, very quick thing
Yeah,
before.
sure. Go for it. Yeah.
I just want to cast Divine Sense because I'm so lost and confused. I'm some kind of fiend or something that took on Ishkar's face. I just need to make sure. I'm just casting Divine Sense on my tent in the area around.
I don't think there's any fiend around you.
Celestial fiend undead within 60 feet.
There is no celestial fiend or undead around you.
This would be an interesting time to reveal that the Baron is undead.
Making sure.
Baron,
No,
he was a
yeah,
clown all along.
No, there's no undead celestial or fiend of a around you.
Never be too
You
careful.
can take a quick walk around this thing, but there's nothing of concern.
No, I'm good. I'm not even leaving my tent. I'm just doing it around my tent. I'm good. I have to make sure.
Yeah.
I love Leo. Leo is the straight guy of this.
Wow.
No, straight man. Is that the term? The
Leo
Straight
isn't
gob.
even a guy.
That's a
No.
straight gob.
straight
This-
gob. I
Gob.
sorry, I don't mean to misgender them. I'm talking about that trope. Everybody's
the
fucked
straight
up,
shooter?
but yeah, but that
Yeah.
person has their shit together. You know what I mean?
I don't know why that's somehow offending me. I'm joking, it's not. But yeah, sure. Cool.
Okay.
We'll play it like that.
Yeah, as the new dawn rises over the Judas Dominion, you all wake up to the Baron, the Baroness, and the soldiers already ready and set to leave. Food is being served on the way. They don't have time to make it here, and the Baroness meets you, greets you in the morning, and says, "Well, we have a long day in front of us today. I hope to rally some troops in my hometown in Allfield. If you have the courage to follow, we must make haste."
Just so.
Make haste we shall.
Yeah, the four of you have your own carriage. The Baron, the other soldiers, you're all in a caravan as you all proceed into the small little sleepy village of Allfield. At least it's not sleepy or anything today because barricades and encampments are being set out. Word has already been sent of what's happened in Zadash. Reinforcements from all around the Zulus Dominion have been called into Allfield to set up a kind of a last stand in case of anything untoward happening from Zadash. And you see, as you approach the rolling hills and you descend into the valley of Allfield, you see one giant towering structure which is the Temple of Ray, which dwarfs every other building in this city. The river runs right behind the Temple of Sarenrae, and you can already see like a large crowd is gathering close by from the temple. Food and ration is being distributed from the temple. This is the main source of everyone's this thing. It's about midday when you reach Allfield, and the Baron and the Baroness immediately retire. The Baron retires to make military plans for the rest of the city. You're all left to your devices, roam around the city as you please.
I have a question. So the Baron and Baroness are making the temple their headquarters?
Oh no, the Baron has like his own. He's from Allfield, so he has his own home here, like his the home that he grew up in. That's a little bit off from the center of the city. That's the place that's being used as the headquarters. Like you were all like your caravan drove through the city, and you passed the temple, and then you went all the way up to the Baron's home. Baron tells you that to find there are quarters assigned to you in Allfield, and the Baron tells you that you must make preparations for the oncoming war. I shall consult with my generals, but if you can lend any assistance, feel free to come into our headquarters, our makeshift headquarters. Just make yourself at home, settle in.
I have an idea, Baron, before you leave, or perhaps because we do need to locate the High Cleric if we can. I was wondering if you knew of any object that might that the High Cleric might be carrying. Perhaps one that I might be familiar with.
Well, I haven't seen them in 6 months, and I've stopped receiving any messages from them about a month ago. I don't know what objects they're carrying on with them right now. You could ask our the custodian of the temple. Might have some better answers for you. I get my messages from the High Cleric through the custodian.
Then in that case, it will serve well to meet them anyway.
Right. I'm going to consult with my generals and devise a plan. We need to figure out how to retake Sadash and deal with Trents and Nas once and for all. But if you need anything, I shall be in my home. I'm ever grateful for your assistance. He gives you like a slight bow.
Thank you, Your Lordship. We hope we can resolve this matter swiftly.
As do I. It swiftly turns around and walks up the steps to enter his home.
I look at the remaining three. I'm like, so the first person I was thinking of going and speaking to was the custodian, but if you have any other ideas that we must consider, we can divide and conquer in this case, as it were.
No, I would like to go there as well.
It's best if we all stick together.
I trust your lead has always been good. Your leads have been good when it comes to finding people, so I trust you on this.
Very well. And with that, I swiftly start making my way towards the custodian's office.
Yeah. You head to the main temple of Ray, which forms the center of the city here. It is built on the banks of the river that flows just at the edge of Allfield. And the temple itself is a very impressive pyramid-like structure. And at the base of the temple, just not the main door. The main door is sealed, but off to the side, they have set up like almost like a food distribution shop, and all the citizens of Allfield are just like in line, waiting to get food, waiting for their rations, and the line itself like snakes all the way around the temple. The main door is closed, and the temple is off to the side. Sorry, not the temple. The main door is closed, and the food stall is off to the side.
Leo, perhaps it'll be yeah. Sorry.
No. There are like a few acolytes in like red cloaks who are like manning the food stall station, but you don't see anybody of higher authority here at this place.
I'll wave over to the acolytes. Good morrow. We wish to speak to you with the custodian. Would you know where we could find them?
Yeah, one of the acolyte like looks at you, like pulls the head back, and you see this human with like very short buzz cut hair look at you, and Leo, you're with them, right?
Mhm.
You're with, yeah. More than you looks past you and looks at Leo and says, "Brother Leo, long time since you've come back to the temple.
A very
When was the last time I
slow
saw you?
smile.
When? Yeah, I think we last saw you when we were building this.
Indeed, it has been very long. I am most happy to
Indeed,
see
indeed.
you doing well.
The acolyte says, "Oh, the custodian is probably inside. I'll take you in." And they kind of like get up and escort you back to the main door. And they knock on the main door like 3-4 times, and then like large wooden bolts, large metallic bolts like move. And the door is unlocked, and like it's like a double door, and one of the doors open, and the acolyte looks at all of you and Brother Capo's inside, the custodian. He'll be happy to see one of our High Cleric's original disciples back.
Indeed. Thank you so much for all your help. And may Ray's light guide you.
Yeah, the acolyte kind of like bows and you, and like retreats back to the food distribution thing. The door opens, and you see another like acolyte with the same red robes greet you all, and especially you, Leo. Like everyone knows you here,
Mhm.
and the acolyte is like, "Brother Leo, so glad you could join us. I wish you could have come in better circumstances, but
As do I.
you're
Perhaps.
here to meet with Capo."
Yes, please, we have business to discuss. But perhaps after it has concluded, I can spend a little bit of time here and inquire more
Okay.
how you all are doing.
You walk through this like very impressive structure with like stained glass windows adorned on all sides, and on the central dome right on top there's like a almost like an obelisk dome. From inside, from outside it looked like a pyramid triangle, but from inside it looks like a dome. And like just at the pinnacle of the obelisk you see like a small opening with like natural light just like falling like a beam inside this temple. And you pass through this the pews, and the acolyte kind of like you see the main sanctum sanctorum, like at the end, like you see the altar and then you see the sanctum sanctorum. And at the there's like a it's like a open doorway, and then there's the main inner sanctum, and at the open doorway there's like a chain link. There's like a chain across, and there's like a big sign which says off limits. And inside that like open doorway you see like a very small chamber, and you see like a almost 12-foot tall figure of Sarenrae carved in stone. And you walk, like you step up almost as close as you can to the altar and the inner, the sanctum sanctorum. And just before you like reach there, the acolyte kind of leads you to the right, and you to a small door where you see this like purple tiefling with like giant ram-like horns, wearing this maroon red robe, clearly like some very different robe from the acolytes, wearing like a necklace with a small bead of ruby embedded into it. They're presently like writing some kind of a letter with a quill, and as soon as you open the door, they look to all of you. Yes, welcome. How may I be of service?
Am I speaking to the custodian?
Yes, that is I. I am Capo, the custodian of the Temple of Ray.
Did you say that was Capo?
Yes, Capo.
Okay. Hello. My name is Gear. I'm not sure if you've been introduced before, but I'm seeking 2 matters that you could provide perhaps information with. I'm working along with my companions here, for the Baron in aiding the Dominion.
Yes, the Baron. Yes. I sent messages to the Baron.
Yes. That actually is the first matter I wish to speak to you about. How are these messages delivered to you?
The High Cleric sends them to me.
Is it a magical means?
I do not know the extent of power of the High Cleric.
You misunderstand me, Capo. How is it a letter? Is it a spell that communicates the message to you? Is it
comes in visions, in my dreams?
A vision. The High Cleric's message is sent to you in a vision.
Yes.
Most
High Cleric, the most pious flame, sends messages in visions.
Most pious flame. Is that a title that he has chosen for himself?
Yes. It is a title bestowed by our Lord Sarenrae.
I see. Capo, I have a second matter I wish to talk to you about. When was the last time you saw the High Cleric?
Oh, 6 months ago.
6 months. And since then, it has only been...
Roll an insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm twirling the rings on my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Sorry, what?
6. I don't understand anything. He's telling the truth.
10. I missed something.
10. I will say this. With a 10.
Hey, someone got better.
When Capo said that he not seen the High Cleric for more than he was like calculating how many months. He did look past you into the open doorway.
Or
all of you.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Did you already?
You're not getting more than that on a 10.
Yeah. Leo?
Leo got a 27.
Oh, yeah, just let you got a 27. That's some crazy insight. Okay, he not being honest about seeing the High Cleric that long ago, for sure. And you like turn back and you definitely
Is
see
my
what
ring
you looked
glowing?
at when.
My hands are always
What does
covering
your ring do again?
the eyes of Avalier.
Let me just look up your ring.
We have a
Yep.
ring that lights up when we are in conversation with someone lying to us.
Yeah, your ring is glowing.
Eyes of Avalier is the name of your ring.
What it's called? It's called the Ring of Honor, passed down by the eyes of Avalier. I turn around.
Wow.
Your ring is glowing, and you turn around and you see exactly what Capo looked at, and he looked at the inner sanctum sanctorum. Although it's not it's still very partially visible, you're in line with it, this is the sanctum and you are all here. So he only sees a side profile of it, but you do see that chain link fence, and he did look at it just for a brief second before returning his gaze back to Gear. Yes, 6 months, I believe. Yes.
I look
Capo,
back.
it would behoove you to speak the truth here. Just letting you know this. I have no doubt about your honor. But we are in dire need, and a nation is tearing itself apart.
Make an intimidation check.
I will stay quiet.
Can I give advantage on that or the help action?
Yeah, sure. You can.
Because in this
You
moment,
can either roll yourself or you can either roll yourself or you can give advantage.
Leo, you can roll it. I'm basically as Leo. I'm as each question I ask, I've been moving closer and closer to Capo, and at this point, I'm just slightly leaning over, hunched, and it's a very slow process that I've just been trying to like get closer. So yeah, just from that intimidation.
Okay, so I may roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll an advantage.
Let's try this. Good God! I hate D&D Beyond. Sorry, D&D Beyond, but you rolled shit for me. 14.
Roll Nonagon Dice.
Can I assist
Yeah, I do have.
one step further?
No, that's
It's done.
that's yeah, sure. What are you planning to do? I'm not saying you can do it yet, but what are
Yeah.
you planning to do?
I will follow behind Gear, take a deep breath,
Mhm.
and firmly lay one hand on them. Like it's almost like a smack, but like on the, but not like a thupper, but like, just like, please listen to reason. And if I can count that as an unarmed strike, I'd like to use Exhort Truth. Needs to make a charisma saving throw of DC 16. On a failed save, the creature is unable to speak a deliberate
Okay.
lie, and
Yay.
all checks made at it, all charisma checks made at it are with advantage.
Okay, that landed somewhere in between a 16 and a 3, so I'm gonna roll that again. Ooh, nope, 6 plus.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
sorry, but natural 6.
Love it. I know whether they succeed or fail, so I know that it has worked.
Mhm.
And the creature is aware that I've done this to them and can avoid answering questions, basically.
Is this your that truth, the extort truth thing?
Yes.
Okay. What are you asking them? Well, no, sorry. This is the same thing that Leo said, right? Like, speak the truth and
Yes.
stuff.
I will step back after having done that and say it would listen to reason and just wait.
Capo's like, no, I am telling the truth. The High Cleric is not here. The High Cleric has not been seen.
By
Detect-
anyone here?
Detect thoughts.
Detect
Subtle
thoughts?
spell. Subtle spell detect thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, but I stand 5 feet next to Vilea, so she knows I've cast it.
Okay.
You don't
He,
know that I know
is-
because of closeness, but fair enough. Yeah. I will look over and nod.
Like I elbow you
I'm
in
going to
the-
say, I'm going to say, your detect thoughts happens instantaneously with what Capo is doing. So you see his plan of action forming in his mind, very Sherlock Holmes style. That you see him like plotting the next what he's going to do, and then it just happens. You see him kind of like looking for a way to get out of this because this crowd is too much, and there's like too many questions, and he needs to get out. He casts darkness.
Counter spell.
Anyone can see through much. Ooh.
Yeah, that
Okay.
works.
Sure.
I
and-
will use my reaction as a sentinel and as a maid slayer because he cast the spell. I can use my reaction to attack, and as
Yeah, you can do
both
that.
those. No, not you. I mean, he
You
tried
don't
to
have
cast a spell.
Sentinel, you have stunning strike, I think. Right?
No, I picked that as my level 8 feat.
Oh, you have Sentinel? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna go with something else, but it's sentinel. So yeah, I will attack. And basically, if I hit, it won't be able to move.
This escalated quickly.
Yeah, I'll be like, can you stop fighting in the Temple of Peace?
It's even not like an attack. It's more like a hand on the chest.
Yeah,
like
sure.
stay where you are.
What did you roll?
24.
What did you roll? Ooh, yeah, that hits. Roll your damage.
Oh boy.
Oh, your damage is it's an unarmed strike, right?
Yeah.
That's just
One
That's
8
what-
points of damage.
one. Oof. Okay. You see, like you just like stop him and he like doubles over and he like, oh, please, I didn't do anything. You come into the. He looks at you, Leo, with like the. You have like the symbols of Ray, and he's like, you come into the temple of Ray and you assault
Please,
the
everyone.
custodian.
Everyone,
What?
stand down a bit. Capo,
Why?
I do not wish to do anything to harm you, but understand that this information is crucial to us and to the Dominion. If you are not helpful, things may turn sour very quickly. Please cooperate here. You follow the same path that I do. Do not deviate from it.
And we know you're lying.
Anyone else doing anything?
I add to that.
I'm like going like detect thoughts, and I am willing to like even like push it to will save to like get the real deal.
Okay.
I believe the save is 15.
I rolled a 17.
I think you passed it. I don't have anything.
So you
like,
know
can
that he
use-
passed it.
What's it called? Wait, doesn't the Kobold Somi have disadvantage on trying to? No, it doesn't apply to detect thoughts. Never mind.
It has to be
Yeah.
charisma.
No, it's this is a like a new turn, so I'm just like waiting. You all get one thing to do. Leo's Leo and Ishkar are done. Valara is done. Give anything or just watching?
I will look at everything that's happened very quickly because I was asking questions. The next thing I know, Valara's moved in, struck him. Ishkar's cast something that stopped Capo from casting something, and Leo is now asking everyone to stand down. And I am extremely concerned. I will look Capo in the eye, and I'll put a single paw on his shoulder, which at this point means Velara has already got one hand on him, and Capo, and then I put my other, and I'll look at him, I'll look at Leo and be like, I do not wish to dishonor my friend Leo here by bringing upon violence, but it seems that you are hiding things, and this is not the time to do so. Speak now, or matters
Okay.
will get worse.
Capo kind of like cowers down a bit and okay. The answers you seek are inside the sanctorum. Don't hurt
Excellent.
me. I'm just a
I will-
custodian.
I'll pat him as if to kind of almost ruffle him up with my both paws, then lift him up out of his seat. Like, you can guide us. Come. We will look
There
in
is
there.
no need for that. I can take you there.
Leo, perhaps, yes, you can, but if Capo here has more to tell us that he has not revealed, then I would like his company when we do so. Does that seem fair?
All right. But no maiming or harming or spilling blood in this temple until absolutely necessary.
Swear on Erathis and the blade. Not a blood will be spilled unless I am struck first.
That is fair to me. Capo, we must not dishonor what this temple stands for in the first place. You and I both know this.
Capo leads you to the inner sanctorum, and you, Leo, you know that this is sorry, Ishkar.
As they're like going into the sanctum, I'm like near the back. I like go to that section where he's like writing letters. I glance at it to see if there's anything like interesting, because I know he's been sending letters across, but like the Baron hasn't received a letter in like a month. And they're like seeing like anything interesting written down. But I don't have long, so I just grab it.
Are you reading or are you just grabbing?
I look at the top to see like if it is a letter, like dear so and so.
I'll give you this. Give me a perception or investigation. Your choice. And if you roll well enough, you'll know exactly which letter to pick up. If you don't, you just pick up a bunch of random letters and we'll like roll to see if you got lucky.
22 investigation.
Oh, yeah. You see one letter that's being addressed to Komoda.
Have it?
That seems the most
Oh,
enticing one to you. But yeah, you grab it, and Capo like leads you to the sanctorum. And Leo, you know the sanctorum was like, even when you were here and you were helping in constructing this temple, the sanctorum was off limits, like hard rule. No one allowed there except the High Cleric. And Capo seems to know their way around here. Capo like unlocks the chain, lets you all in, and you see the small. You're in a very small chamber, like 10 by 10, and you see like a giant statue to Ray. And Capo goes to the side, just where the statue is like flush against the wall, and unhooks a lever, and the statue itself like slides. And as the statue slides, you see like a small, like a tunnel with like stairways going down. And Capo looks at all of you.
You've been
Go
waiting
on.
for.
Yeah, Capo, you are of course leading.
Oh, very well, very well. And Capo like takes heads down the flight of stairs. As he heads down, magically like the torches and the sconce like.
Sure. And I'm just, while I'm letting him walk freely, I'm keeping my paw right in the reach of his shoulder, the nape of his neck, in case he tries to make any sudden moves. I want to grab him.
Okay. As you descend down the stairs, you enter into this like almost like the first thing as you descend down the stairs, the temperature starts rising more and more. It starts feeling like hotter and hotter the more you go down the stairs. And eventually, like after what it feels like climbing down almost 75-80 flights of stairs, you it's going on for a long time. But Capo eventually like leads you down, and you feel like the temperature's like noticeably risen about 2 to 3 degrees. And eventually like you come across this almost sealed door, like a wooden door. And as you push past the door, you enter a chamber with like, it is just filled wall to wall with like plants. But more than that, you see like on the floor itself, the floors are all cracked, and there's like bright, not bright, but like a pulsing red energy that's just like coming from under it. And as Capo like leads you into this chamber, you everyone give me a perception check. So
This time
let's
I
see
will
if you can help the audience notice some things.
oh, yikes.
Perception or
go
religion?
so bad.
Perception.
Got it.
Oh, can we do investigation?
Yeah, sure. I'll let you do investigation or.
Oh, okay. If it's investigation, then I got a 19.
Yeah, sure.
If it's investigation, I got an 18.
Hey, smart people.
I rolled a
This is more for the benefit of the audience, so.
I got 11.
11.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am very confused as to why there are plants down here. This is not what I like.
Okay.
Expect.
Shubham. I'm sorry. Gir. I generally forgot Leo and Gir, so I was like, oh, Shubham.
7.
Yep. 7. Vilara.
18. It's a 13 on the
18.
screen, but that's because I rolled perception. Investigation's 18.
No worries. No worries.
19 for
19.
Ishkar.
19. Okay, Ishkar and Valara, you see like under this foliage of trees and shrubbery that's like adorning the wall, you see what looks like almost like a mural. And on the mural, you see like you can just like, make out bits and pieces through the leaves. You see a huge bird of dark purple flame. It's wreathing the sky, its wings curved upward and bent down. And where the wings ended, fire just curls and burns from the side. And as you like take in the sights here, Capo stands tall, reaches for almost like a rapier in his belt, and then just says out loud, "Guardians of the Twilight Phoenix, none shall leave this room." And that's where we'll pick up on the next session.
Oh no!
Ah,
Twilight Phoenix.
I know
Love it.
that, buddy. Oh
I-
boy.
I don't. They're friendly, right?
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's on like cuddly cute things.
Yeah, Guardians of Twilight Fleet. That's the equivalent of KFC in this world, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Careful, no, the only phoenix we worship is Ray. Not the Twilight Phoenix. Come on.
Yes.
उन्हें सबको क्या बनाया? Oh good.
Well, it's fine because we are totally prepared for this kind of trouble.
I am so happy though.
So happy. Anyone in chat, if you know what it is, tell us wrong answers in the chat. So I have no idea. I
That's
want to be
critical role
confused. So
process.
only wrong answers in the chat, please. Yes. Oh, leave wrong answers for me at Desis and Dragons server. Where's the dab? I don't know where the dab is.
The Twilight Phoenix is the phoenix whose feathers sparkle like diamonds in the sun.
Yes. That's all I want.
It's only the Mount of Asmodeus or some shit. So no big. No big.
Also, just actually a vampire.
I, by the way, am a big fan of the Eyes of Avelia ring. What is this amazing item? I dig. Okay,
Yep.
but Siva,
But
you just start.
yes. Okay. That's it for episode 2 of Wildemount Faith and Fury. Thank you to our amazing cast for this excellent session. And hopefully we will see you soon next week, same time. See
Thank you to our
Bye-bye.
amazing DM also. Okay, bye.
Yeah, that was great.
Bye.
Bye 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 bye.